This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's full commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson. Today's lesson is part of a 20-lesson group that runs from lesson 181 through 200. The introduction to these 20 lessons tells us that each lesson focuses on a certain block that hinders us from learning the course and applying it in our lives. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 195, July 14. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Will you walk the path of love or the path of fear and separation? Each day, each encounter puts you at this same fork in the road. You can be grateful when you choose the way of love, because it is the only way out of the suffering of the illusion. Quote, today we learn to think of gratitude in place of anger, malice, and revenge. We have been given everything. End quote. The special block to be overcome today is the notion that the problems and conflicts of this world can be resolved through attacks and victories of your ego over those who are, quotes, wrong or, quotes, at fault. They cannot. Be grateful that there is another way. Love. Gratitude has a very important place in the Course. The lesson tells us, quote, gratitude goes hand in hand with love, and where one is, the other must be found, end quote. So, if you find gratitude, you also find and feel love. They go hand in hand. What can we be thankful for? Although there are things, even in the illusion, to be thankful for, that is not what the lesson is getting at. Why look to the illusion, which includes the bad along with the good? We can do better than that. We can look at reality. Always remember that the Course is teaching us to see the reality beyond the illusion, so we can look to the One, God, which is all good. Quoting from the lesson, quote, we thank our Father for one thing alone, that we are separate from no living thing, and therefore one with Him, end quote. Now, that is something to be thankful for. What more could we possibly want than to be one with God as His child? Quoting from the lesson, today we learn to think of gratitude in place of anger, malice, and revenge. We have been given everything. If we refuse to recognize it, we are not entitled, therefore, to our bitterness and to a self-perception which regards us in a place of merciless pursuit, where we are badgered ceaselessly and pushed about without a thought or care for us or for our future. Gratitude becomes the single thought we substitute for these insane perceptions. God has cared for us and calls us son. Can there be more than this? End quote. Can there be more than this? No, there cannot be. Remember your reality as God's child, and it is impossible not to be grateful, because you have exchanged nothing, the illusion, for everything, the kingdom. As quoted before, quote, gratitude goes hand in hand with love, and where one is, the other must be found, end quote. Remember who and what you are in truth, and walk now in gratitude and love.